For a lot of people, the idea of being a participant in the social institutions other than family that are concerned with the common good, like the government, is abhorrent. Because you look and you say, oh, politicians are blup, and I can't be and I'm not going to participate in it, and it's so big and I'm so little, and it doesn't make any difference anyway. I recognize, as I said yesterday in response to the question about politics, that I am a member of the family of the nation state, just as I am a member of the family of the world. So when I work in Guatemala with Seva or in Nepal, and what Seva does is it's recognizing the extended family, that there are Guatemalans that are us and there are Nepalis that are us. But I also realize, just as there's a family within the nation state, there's a nation state within the national. And the nation state's like a big ego. And in some way, it's an anachronism, because ultimately, because of the information age and the way it's all going to go, there will be world consciousness and world government. And now, just as there's multinationals that cut across the whole game, so there will be the United Nations pretty soon will grow its own teeth, as it gets through infancy. But I feel that you and I, as people who are working on our consciousness, are sensing in the society at this moment an interesting moment. Now, I'm sure there have been interesting moments all through history. And everybody said this is a really interesting moment. And this is probably no more interesting than they were. But it is an interesting moment still. And the interesting moment is that we taste the possibility of change. And the question is, where does the change occur? Does it occur in laws? Like Ross Perot, good example. Ross Perot says we have to change the laws around lobbyists and the payment of lobbyists to Congress people, because our government is for sale. I think he's right. The question is, does that solve our dilemma? Or is Ross Perot part of our dilemma, even as he's pointing out the dilemma? And is the change that's required a change in Ross Perot-ness, not just in the lobby laws? In other words, is the change that's required a change in us, or just in the social systems in which we work? If the change is in us, and that's part of it, and I think most of you see that intimate relationship. I go to many peace rallies, and everybody at the peace rally is so pissed off all the time. You think, isn't that interesting? That if we're having peace rallies and everybody's angry at a peace rally, what the hell chance is there of peace? A peaceful person helps create a peaceful universe. But does a peaceful person mean you can't protest? Aha, perspective. Is there a way you can protest from a place of peacefulness? Is there a way that the very act of saying no to somebody can bring you closer together instead of being divisive? Interesting question, isn't it? Don't you notice when you say no to somebody, you tend to close your heart? Wouldn't it be an interesting exercise to figure out how to keep your heart open when you say no? How to love the person and abhor the act, and say no to the act and saying yes to the person, and doing it at the same moment, even in the quality of the way you say the no. These are the exercises of life for a spiritual person. Because if your job is to keep your heart open, and yet you have to act in a way to oppose evil, how do you oppose evil without getting caught in righteousness and good, which polarizes the world?